The hardest hitting UFC fighters right now. We're going to be going through each division. We're going to pick one fighter from each division who has the most fucking power in them hands, dude. And at the end of the video, we're going to pick one pound for pound who hits the hardest overall per weight class. And let's start with the flyweight division. There's a very, very obvious answer here. Dude, Manel Kape for a flyweight hits different, man. This guy's power is insane for a flyweight. It's actually crazy. Out of his 23 wins, he has 15 KOs. And to be fair, in his early part of his career in the UFC, he wasn't getting that many KOs. But recently, he has been on a roll of just knocking motherfuckers out. That knockout over Horiguchi, dude, lost the whole fight, was getting dominated. Just one shot off this guy, you're wobbly and it's over. And he face planted him. Knocked out Royval in round 1. Just with one shot. Same with Almabiev. Almabiev was kind of a combination of punches. And just styled on Bruno Silva and finished him. Obviously, does he have complete one-punch knockout power? It's not like a Francis Ngannou, because the guy's a flyweight. But at the end of the day, for a flyweight, we see Brandon Royval take a bunch of punches off Josh Javan. He got rocked, he got dropped. In the end, one shot off Manel Kape and there's night-night. I mean, we saw... In the end, he knocked out Tyra by landing a ridiculous amount of punches. Manel Kape, look at Logano. Logano is popping. He's on something. He's on something. Because this guy's power is ridiculous. He's the hardest. I'd say he's the hardest hitting flyweight in UFC history. Let's Figueiredo there. Did Figueiredo have this one punch? He kind of did. So there's arguments. But we're talking right now. Manel Kape has huge power, ridiculous power. Full of weight class too. These guys are really small guys. And he has one shot power. So if he hits you one good shot, you're wobbled and the fight's probably going to get over. So my very clear answer for the flyweight division, it's Manel Kape. Now on to the bantamweight division. There's options, you know. I think there's a pretty clear option. I was thinking about putting Figgy, but does Figgy have that power? Who has he knocked out of bantamweight? No one, so it's not really Figgy. I mean, obviously, his champion Petr Yan doesn't hit that hard. Song Yadong was an option, but I think someone who has the most knockouts in this division right now, and it's pretty clear, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Does he have, like huge amount of power? Like, you can take a shot from him, yes. You can. You can take shots off him. And against high level comp, he doesn't tend to finish you. Unless you're Aljamain Sterling. But this division doesn't really have any heavy hitters. You know? Les fighters, you got Song Yadong. Other than Song Yadong, I don't see anyone else competing with Sean O'Malley. And who beat Song Yadong? It doesn't matter about power though, does it? That's a stupid argument I made there. But I mean, we go through the division. I got Song Yadong. Other than him, what, Marlon Vera has good power, like, nah. It's Sean O'Malley. I mean, recently knocked out Amin Zahabi. Yeah, if you do take one big shot off this guy, it tends to be over, you know. He has a lot of nasty knockouts, and it's knocked out Aljo, dude, with a step back right hand, you know. Obviously, he knocked out a bunch of cans on air. He did take Chris Matinho to round 3 of taking shots, but Matinho kind of has a good chin, kind of not. You know, he has a lot of good wins in his career with nasty knockout. Dude, the knockout over Eddie Wineland, bro. That was so nasty. We don't see bantamweights doing that to people. I know it's Eddie Wineland, but it doesn't matter. It still shows power. He stiffened Eddie Wineland out cold just by one straight right hand, which is something you don't see often at all. The knockout over Almeida. Fucking nasty shit. For a bantamweight, he doesn't have the most power. This guy's got big power, big knockout power in hands. And you have to respect it. You know, rocking guys like Petr Yan. Petr Yan's got a hell of a chin. He rocked him, dude. And obviously, yeah, this division isn't it's full of hard hitters at all. So, I kind of had to pick Sean O'Malley here, you know. So, yeah, overall, I think Sean O'Malley... I'd say he's the hardest hitter. Now on to the featherweight division. I think there's two clear guys. It's Jean Silva and Kevin Vallejos, I'd say. Very clearly loaded up. Diego Lopez, I forgot about Diego Lopez in there too. 100%. But I lean towards who as the hardest hitter. I think John Silva is the hardest hitter in this division. And it is very close between him, Lopez, and Vallejos. Diego Lopez has fucking huge power too. So we did, but Steve Garcia has no chin. So it's like, I'm very confident John Silva to flatline Steve Garcia as well. Steve Garcia's in the discussion as well, but just the imagery of him getting knocked. Nah, I don't think. Steve Garcia doesn't. He has good power, but it's nothing crazy, you know. You know, John Silver, even against Diego Lopez, I think he's the only person to drop Diego Lopez. Or did he drop him? He had him down to one knee 100%. He was fucking dropping him. And if that fight continued, if he had an IQ and didn't start seeing red in that moment, maybe we would have seen, if they rematch, maybe Lopez gets knocked out by this guy. I don't know. Maybe a big decision. Obviously, Kevin Vallejo's, this guy's got fucking huge power. Kyo and Josh Emmett in a round. No, literally, who does that to Josh Emmett, man? But no one really does that to Josh Emmett. No one does that to Josh Emmett. So maybe you could put Vallejos here too. I wouldn't be mad about it. First guy to knock out Giga Chikadze too. But if we go over Bryce Mitchell's career, I mean, the guy just has ridiculous power. Ridiculous power. Against Arnold Allen, did he really rock him? Not really. That's Arnold Allen. No one's rocked Arnold Allen. Unless you're Mozvaevlo, if you can drop him, you know. That's how the sport works. But obviously, he did get knocked out by Lopez. He was dropping Mitchell around easily as soon as he landed on him, you know. Guys like Melsik Bagdasarian fucking dropped him badly. And Melsik isn't good at all. He's trash. But he's a kickboxing world champion. Beat him at his own game. Dropped him bad. Finished him. Went up a weight class to 155. Just fucked up Drew Dober and rocked him badly whenever he wanted to. Impressive as hell. Was a doctor stoppage, I'm aware. Knocked out Charles Jourdain. I mean, he just knocked everyone out. And obviously Arnold Allen went to a decision. Arnold Allen's fucking elite. So that's not, you know, oh, he couldn't knock out Arnold Allen. Like, that means nothing, dude. I'd say it's tricky, you know. It's tricky, you know. Maybe you could put Vallejos here. I'd say John Silver is the hardest hitter in this weight class. I'd say it's very close, love. There's a lot of options here. So yeah, overall, I'd say John Silver's the hardest hitter. It's very hard. This is, you know, there's options. Now onto the division I found the hardest to pick, the lightweight division. I think there's lots of guys here. Obviously, Ilia Topuria still has dynamite in his hands. You have Justin Gaethje, who really puts damage on you. He can put fucking damage on you. You know, Benoit Saint-Denis got power. Mauricio Houfi hits hard as shit, too. So it was really hard. But I picked Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. I don't know. I just think he hits hard as fuck. It's hard to explain. There's so many good options in this weight class. I wanted it down to... the people I thought was Houfi, Charles Oliveira, Ilia, and Gaethje. And immediately I thought, Gaethje, who is he? Did he drop Ilia? Ilia does have a hell of a chin, though. He did kind of drop Ilia, to be fair. But I think Oliveira, dude, I mean, when we saw Topuria flatlined Oliveira out cold badly. So there's 100% an argument for Ilia Topuria. But... I mean, do we forget what Oliveira did to Gaethje? Flattened him on his back badly. We saw Topuria land shots on Gaethje. They did not land big shots. Topuria landed big shots on Gaethje to the face. They didn't rock him. They didn't drop him. So, Mauricio Houfi's there too. And there's 100% you can pick Houfi here. Because, I mean, Oliveira wasn't able to KO Chandler. And he's more of a grappler. But when this guy on the feet... We saw him when he went against Max Holloway. Whenever he'd hit Holloway, he'd sit him in a chair and rock him. At the end of the fight, he'd rock him. This guy hits fucking huge power for the weight class. Originally a featherweight too. So it's even crazy. And he bulked up. And now he's fucking here, dude. And he... got huge power on that. You have to respect it. Especially with his style. He's very aggressive. He's marching forward. Recently, he's been less reckless, to be fair. But if we go for his... I mean, even knocking out Michael... He didn't knock out Michael Chandler. I know recently he didn't, which is a fucking shit loss. But first fight, left hook, bang, rocked Chandler bad. And this was a prime Chandler, who actually was decent, you know. Obviously, he knocked out Dariush. Whoa. What a win, knocking out Dariush. But, you know, recently, he's shown great power in hand. Holloway... rocking him badly every time he'd hit him. Even Gamrot forcing him. But Gamrot didn't rock Gamrot too badly. That was more of a grappling fight. But on the feet, he was landing, pushing Gamrot back, rocking him a bit. Chandler's a fucking trash can. What can I say? Gaethje fucking put him in a chair, dude. Punched him. He fell right back. Bad, nasty. That was a nasty finish there. You know, recently, I'd say, I mean, he knocked out Jared Gordon. People forget, man. Knocked out Jared Gordon. It's a rocking hard, you know. Maybe it is Mauricio Houfi now thinking about. I don't know, man. It's a very hard division to call who's the hardest hitter. Very hard. So I'd say Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira has the most power in this division. You know, you could definitely swap this with a lot of guys. You know, now on to the welterweight division. There's a very clear answer here. It's the nightmare, dude. Carlos fucking Prates. Ridiculous. ridiculous power. JDM's got a hell of a chin. And did he flatline JDM? No, but he made JDM quit. Did he? No, I love JDM. I don't want to hate on JDM. But he fucking ruined. He made JDM depressed, dude. He made JDM depressed, dude, from all the power he's getting hit with. The knees up the middle are so nasty. I think he's never, does he have what? He has like 24 wins, he's got 19 knockouts, 3 subs. He went to a decision 1 time. Like, insane power. Leon Edwards, first guy to knock out Leon Edwards, first guy to knock out Jeff Neal. He's the first guy to knock out Li Jingliang, and the first guy to knock out Jack Della Maddalena. I am sorry, if you have that statistic, you were the hardest hitter in this division. The only other guy I could see was in the discussion would have probably been Michael Morales, but Michael Morales he didn't flatline Sean Brady, yeah? Sean Brady got fucking TKO'd by Bilal, and the way he hits you, left full power swings. He's putting all his body weight into those swings. Carlos Prates, he can put a straight right hand on you. You're out cold. I mean, look at the Trevin Giles knockout, dude. That was such a nasty KO. That was a fucking devastating KO. You know, knocking out Charles Raggett fucking probably broke his ribs badly. Li Jingliang out cold. Magny wasn't even a clean shot yet. Magny with out cold. You know, Gary beat him, and he did land on Gary and couldn't knock him out, but Gary has a good chin. Yeah, it has to be. In this division, it's got to be Carlos Prates. There's not really anyone else I could think of here for this division. It's a very clear answer. Carlos Prates, the guy's a fucking beast. Now on to the middleweight division. And I was originally kind of going with DDP, but it's hard. It's like, I'll be honest, I think Joe Pyfer hits hard like a fucking truck in this division. Joe Pyfer has some serious pop. And I'm sure Izzy did take shots off him. But has anyone stiffed Izzy out cold? No one's done that. And Izzy looked good in that fight too, man. And Izzy was getting... Joe Pyfer would fucking land big shots on him. He wouldn't get flatlined, but... originally, he got badly rocked in that fight. And if we go through his career... couldn't knock out fucking... Jack Hermansson somehow, but Abu Smagomedov rocked him bad and finished him. Kelvin Gaston has a crazy chin. Got dropped in that fight multiple times. Barry All sent to the as Joe Rogan would say, sent to the shadow realm. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, I think he showed the grappling off in that fight if I can remember correctly. Mir Shot is complete trash. You know, he hasn't knocked out the greatest guys, but also apparently he hits harder than Ngannou. So who else was I supposed to pick for this division? You know, yeah, I think Joe Pyfer is fucking huge, dynamite, dude, dynamite in the hands, I'd say. And the division isn't full of hard hitters. You know, you got Fluffy, Allen. These aren't guys hard hitters. Imavov has power, but it's nothing too crazy for Imavov. You know, Hamza has pop. Hamzat does have fucking big power in the hands, dude. But he hasn't really showed it off too much. I'd say Joe Pyfer is the hardest hitter in this division. Now on to the light heavyweight division. This is an interesting pick by me here. I was thinking Yuri Prohaska, but... when has Yuri Prohaska knocked out a guy with one shot? It's happened. He's knocked out Ozdemir with one shot. It's happened. But normally it's an accumulation. It's a build, a multiple combination like we see against Roundtree. Like we see against Dominic Reyes. There was a fucking spinning elbow, but it was a build where he was already getting hurt. You know, Yuri was here. Alex Pereira, he's not in the weight class anymore. I don't count him. Jamal Hill was, again, it was a TKO, you know. Was an accumulation too. He dropped him bad. Lenny had to get him. He stood up. Rakic was a build and accumulation. You know, and I think the hardest hitter in this weight class, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the guy, Black Jack, is that his name? Carlos Olberg, I'd say. He has huge and people call him boring too. He has 15 wins, 10 of them by knockout, right? And he does point fight a bit. That leads him to go to decisions. But one left hook, and it's done. It's night-night. Against Yuri Prohaska. Yuri Prohaska's shown a really good chin in his career. And he's got the guys on one leg. On one leg, you tend to not be able to generate too much power. He did it clearly in that shot. He was going for Hail Marys, though. Left hook, out cold, bang. Couple follow-up shots. He's literally out cold. He's had his decision wins, don't get me wrong. He couldn't finish Ozdemir, and he couldn't finish Jan. No one knocks out Jan Blachowicz, yeah? And Ozdemir, he point fights. He's willing to point fight. So, you know, he's not exactly the greatest finisher, which kind of, but for pure power, I mean, Menefield did run in like a Tard left hook. Iopotiaria, I mean, these guys, they're low-level guys. But he has fucking flatline guys. Nasty, you know. Anchorlight, and the division, I'd say it's harder than Yuri. As Mezakhanov has good power too, but Mezakhanov, I mean, not being able to knock out Paulo Costa, so, you know. Ankalaev hits hard, but he doesn't have the most knockout. He doesn't have the highest finishing rate. I think it's not exactly the greatest pick. I'd say Carlos Olberg is the hardest hitter in this weight class. The left hook of doom. One left hook, you're out cold. I'd say it's Carlos Olberg. Now onto the heavyweight division. There's options here. There's Sergey Pavlovich. There's Tom Aspinall. Between those two, I'd say are the hardest hitters. And who knocked out who? Big Tom. He's the hardest hitter in this division. Who knocks out Curtis Blades with a jab? With a jab, he knocks out Curtis Blades. The shortest average fight time in UFC history still, I think. Crazy power. Crazy power. Curtis Blades out cold. Pavlovich out cold. Marcin Tybura out cold. Volkov subbed. Okay, it's a submission, but, you know. Spivak out cold. And all these are before that, a bunch of cans out cold. He is the fucking hardest hitter, man. Huge power from Big Tom. I love Big Tom. And I'm scared for his return. But as a pound-for-pound hardest hitter, a jab knocks down Curtis Blades, finishes him. Crazy power in the hands. He has the highest finishing rate for a reason. It's Big Tom, 100%, I'd say, in this weight class. It's Big Tom. You know, Pavlovich has huge power too, but again, when Pavlovich TKOs you, it seems to be an accumulation of a fucking barrage of punches, like we saw against Tuivasa Lewis. Sure, against Taliesin Teixeira even. He did flatline Teixeira. Teixeira is fucking trash, though, so who cares about that? But yeah. I'd say Big Tom is a pretty clear answer in this division. Now onto my pound-for-pound hardest hitter. I'm going for all divisions, and they're all close. I thought about putting Aspinall here, you know. I thought about putting, not Olberg here, but, you know, I thought Prates definitely could be here. But I think, pound-for-pound, full of weight class, Manel Kape, dude. What's in this guy's gloves? What's in this guy's gloves? I'm sorry, dude. Pound-for-pound hardest hitter is Manel Kape, I'd say. And we're talking for a flyweight. He weighs 125 pounds at the weigh-in. He sure rehydrates. The guy's making 125 pounds, and he has one-punch KO power. Does he stiffen guys like Carlos Prates? Probably not. Prates is fucking 6'3", 6'2", huge, tall, rangy. You know, I'd say it's Manel Kape. I really would. And there's 100% options here. You know, you can say other fighters could be here. I think it's between Prates and Manel Kape. I'll be honest, I think it's between those two. I do think Manel Kape, full of weight, and at this stage in his career, with the gyno popping, I think it's Manel Kape. So yeah, Manel Kape's hardest hit. I hope you enjoyed the video. I thought it was a decent one. Like, subscribe, do it like this. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.